So, welcome to another episode of the Brain-Based Coaching Certification Program, Participant Testimonials. BBCC is one of the most disruptive and resource-rich coaching education programs delivered across the world. For those who may not be aware of what BBCC is, it is built on contemporary neuroscience, positive psychology, and systems and chain theories. I am Somin Chatterjee, Executive Director at the NeuroLeadership Institute of India and South Asia. And today I'm in a candid conversation with Namrata Kohli, resilience coach at Coaching with NAM. So welcome, Namrata, to this very brief session.
Thank you, Somin. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So let's get started. And my first thing is that I was very intrigued by the name Coaching with NAM. So my question to you is, were you a coach before you came into the program, or did you start your coaching journey after the program?
I was not a coach before the program, and I'm a freshly minted coach, courtesy of BBCC and the NeuroLeadership Institute.
Okay, wonderful. And the name is very interesting, very striking name. So tell me, when you went through this whole process of, figuring out which coaching education to pick up, because obviously since you've started on your own, that must have been a very important decision. So how did you get to decide on brain-based coaching as a method?
I'll say that when I decided I wanted to do coaching, it was rooted in my own experience as a coachee. I had several experiences where I had been coached, and I used to be the person who loved offering unsolicited advice and opinions to people, and realized how much I hated it for myself. So when I went through the process of being a coachee with other people is when I realized that I wanted to be a coach as well, because it was such an eye-opening experience for me. And so when I started the process of exploring, I had a decision matrix. So I had looked at duration, certification requirements from the ICF. I looked at price, as well as the alumni network. And I had the chance to connect with a couple of people who had tried a few different coach institutions. And one person in my network spoke very highly of NLI. And that added a lot more points for NLI, in addition, of course, to the cost, the time duration, and the fact that it met the ICF's ACC credential requirements, which are all important factors for me.
Okay, great. So now that you've done the program, has your expectations been met?
100%. Absolutely. All of them have been met very much. And I'm actually thrilled because just last month is when I got my ICF ACC certification. So I am credentialed by ICF in addition to having NLI's credential.
Wonderful. And congratulations. I was not aware that, that you have already got your ACC. So great stuff. So tell me how, when you come into coaching education, a lot of people are experienced in coaching as leaders. Has BBCC changed your viewpoint about what coaching is?
Yeah, I will say I didn't actually know what coaching is at all until I went through a journey as a coachee myself. And BBCC actually met that expectation of what I expected coaching to be. It's less about offering solutions. It's less about being a mentor or an advisor or a consultant. It's a lot more about helping people find answers for themselves. And the one thing that really stuck with me throughout the process is this philosophy that coaching has, which is every person is whole, resourceful, capable, and creative. And I think for a lot of people, it takes a journey to internalize that is true for me. So after I went through that journey to realize that I am whole, resourceful, capable, and creative, it sort of ignited this spark in me to believe that every other person around me is as well. And that's what I think the course and the program really reinstated and reinforced and gave me a lot of opportunities to practice. So as I've worked with the first few set of people who took a bet on me as a first-time coach as I worked towards my 100 hours, that was the most incredible eye-opening experience. And just being able to trust the process of coaching, the dance of insight and other components which the course has taught was a fascinating experience.
Yeah, so there's been this long debate that whether coaching is an art or a science, and as you know that we are very firmly believers of that it's a very much a science. So yeah, you mentioned dance of insight, and absolutely. I mean, it's completely seeped in science. So
Yeah.
the question therefore that comes to my mind is, you know, there are many techniques that we teach. It's much less theory and more technique oriented, as you would have realized in brain-based coaching. Is there any one or two things that stick out for you in the whole journey? Whether it's the LMS portal, whether it is the the all the asynchronous, synchronous learning. I mean, anything which kind of stands out for you as you get into your own coaching.
Yeah, I think some of the pieces that really stick out for me was one big component is the dance of insight, and it applies not just to coaching, it applies to every other aspect of life. Just this, dance of placement, not so much in other aspects of life, but permission, questioning, and clarified. Like it's coming from a place of genuine curiosity, which has been transformational in not just how I show up for myself, but for my family, my friends, and all of the people that I coach and support now. Um, and the other piece I will say is the program, I believe, is a time-bound program, but the cohort that I was with has somehow become really close and really good friends. And that channel itself has become a platform for almost lifelong learning. People are sharing their own journeys, what they're reading, and we're all kind of tied together by this common experience of having gone through this intensive program together over a few months, which continues to stick with me.
Great, and that reminds me that you are also a member of the Coach Tribe. It's the largest online coach community of brain-based coaches in India. So I hope you do, dig into that community from time to time and gain larger experiences. There's a large number of people out there, so do that. And of course, this was a virtual program, right? From I mean, the entire program was done virtually.
Yes.
Was it easy or was it difficult?
Well, it was, I won't say it was difficult. The facilitators made it really engaging. So there were components when I think the first part of the program had 3-hour sessions. I think for me it was every Friday and Saturday, which feels like a bit of an odd day, to be giving up the weekend and spending time learning something. But the facilitators just made it a lot of fun, really engaging to be a part of it. And it always helps that the cohort as well is equally leaned in and committed to the process. So I think it's all structured in a way to keep people engaged. It also always felt like I didn't really have the opportunity to put my camera off and do something else in the background, because I could be called on at any point in time, which for me actually was a great thing, because not only is the subject matter fascinating, but also the facilitators are really leaned in and invite participation. So it really keeps you a lot more engaged.
Thank you for that appreciation of the facilitators. Yes, we have world-class facilitators. What you may not know is that even the program design is based on neuroscience. Okay, we have a principle called the AGES principle of learning. You might have learned it in your coaching as well,
Yes.
which talks about how you keep learning, deepen learning in the brain. So we have actually designed the whole brain-based coaching program also based on some neuroscientific principles. So yes, great stuff. Okay, last question. There are many people like you who are wanting to strike out as a coach, and can be very confusing and daunting for people because there are so many schools of coaching, so many institutions. What would be your one or two key advice to people who are looking for a program like this?
I see there's a lot of programs out there. My recommendation to anyone is know what's important for you in a course. So it could be that you're looking for meeting an ICF credential. It could be a price factor. It could be a coaching cohort and learning with certain established brands. For me, actually, I didn't mention this earlier, but even having neuroscience in the methodology and in the approach to coaching was really important. I am an engineer by qualification, so that itself gave me a whole lot of credibility to the program, because it otherwise would have felt, or it can feel like coaching can be, everybody claims to be a coach these days, and it kind of makes you question because it's a relatively unregulated space. What does it even take to become a coach? So I think those factors made it possible for me to make the decision. And so my recommendation to anybody is know what's important to you as you're exploring and looking at the programs. NLI's course for me was this really great combination of fantastic facilitators, a really solid program with a whole bunch of incredible frameworks, which can be very, very powerful for a coach who's starting out. In addition to the async learning, the portal was great. The gamified points-based approach to reaching a certain number of XPs, some really great case studies with amazing examples which are role-played by a coach and a coachee at different points. So overall, a fantastic experience, and I would recommend this program to anybody who's looking at starting their journey with coaching.
Namrata, thank you so much for your very, very candid and freewheeling conversation today. I wish you all the best with the coaching with NAM. I hope you move your way towards the PCC now. Okay, now that you've already become an ACC. So all the best and keep in touch.
Thank you very much.